Okay, here is the video for the entryway. I know you were a little concerned because the entryway has such tall ceilings and it has quite a bit of space that you wanted to make sure that we filled it correctly so it didn't look like just never-ending walls. And that's really an issue with some homes, is that the walls or the ceilings are so high, which is great, but it starts to feel so vast that you don't know how to fill the space up, and anything you put on the wall can almost feel smaller because if you don't have the right scale and proportions, then it's not going to look right. So for that reason, I have chosen to do a long console table. This console table is 78 inches long, which is a really good size. Most console tables are around 48 to 52 inches, which would just look so dwarfed on that wall. So we need to make sure that we're really using a table that can hold its weight and command the space. So I've chosen to put a console table on one side, and then on the other side and pivoted down a little bit, we're doing another bench. This bench, again, is great for the purpose of the entryway, which is sitting down to take shoes off, put shoes on. There's a basket next to the bench, which can help with putting shoes in the basket, kind of helping corral that entry space. So let's start with the console table. I've used this table before, again, and I love it. It's a little bit more of an investment piece, but it's beautiful. And again, it needs to be a substantial piece to hold its weight in that entry. It's warm wood, which will tie in beautifully with your floors. I've added 2 ottomans underneath, which help to ground it. Because it's so large, it needs something to ground it. But these are also great to help with additional seating. They can be pulled out and moved easily. I've hung a mirror above the table, which is great. It's always nice in an entryway to have a mirror so you can check things as you're coming and going. This is a 36-inch mirror, which is a big size for a mirror, but again, it needs to be able to have the same scale as the table. The table is big, so the mirror needs to be big. Otherwise, if it's the wrong size, it's going to look so funny. And then I've just accessorized it with a lamp and accessories and some greenery. I always add greenery, which really helps to breathe some life into the space. Moving on over to the bench. This is like a Windsor style bench, which I really love, and it's black. I feel like it doesn't feel too country, which sometimes these Windsor benches can feel because the shape of it is more modern. There's no curves, it's very shaped, it's very straight lined, which still makes it interesting, but it gives it a little more modern feel. This bench is a good size. Again, it needs to be a good size that it doesn't feel dwarfed on the wall. This bench does come in 2 different sizes. I believe one is 50 inches and one is 60 inches. The one I drew on your CAD drawing is 60 inches. It's the bigger one. And obviously that one's going to be more money. If you feel like things are adding up too quickly, you can do the smaller size and I think it would still be fine. I've added some pillows on there to help soften up the area, and a really pretty landscape piece of art to hang above it. This artwork is super pretty. I love it with the black frame because it helps to create a nice contrast against the creamy background, and it really just kind of makes the space have more interest. I placed a plant on one side, a faux plant, which is always great. Again, it helps, like I was saying before, it brings life into the space, but it also helps to fill the wall space so it's not feeling so empty. And then a basket on the other side. I know you mentioned you wanted a place to put blankets, which will be great. That's great for blankets or shoes. Moving on to the rug. This one is another Laloy rug. I love them. I use them all the time. Always for runners, I just use Laloys because they vacuum so well and they hide dirt so well. Runners are one of those things that unfortunately they just don't last forever. It gets so much traffic and dirt that they're not going to last forever. And so you just have to be okay with replacing them every couple of years. And that's what's great about this Laloy line, is they are not ridiculously expensive. They're very affordable. So it's okay if you have to replace them every few years. I chose this rug because it brings interest in with the colors. It will hide dirt well. And again, it has a geometric pattern that you like, so we're not feeling too feminine with anything too florally. I believe that's it for the entryway. Again, there are additional options on your source list if you have any other if there's pieces on here that you don't love, if there's anything else you'd like more, be sure to check your source list out for any additional options.